Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2, as the Gunners drop points from a winning position yet again this season. Goodness, I don't even know where to start. It seems like it's the same old story week after week. We do very well for a limited period of time, and then next moment we end up just throwing the game away. Completely capitulated today after Bournemouth got the equaliser. Um, I don't even know what to say, guys. It just seems like it's the story of our season, especially the last couple of weeks. We do well in moments, control the game, and then next moment we just completely throw it away. And I know a lot of people have been blaming Arteta recently, but I don't think it's an Arteta problem. I think if you look at the way we play, the control we have over sides in general, our tactics are spot on. Usually we do very, very well. We've got an issue with our strikers, obviously. We don't finish enough chances. Left wing's also another issue. We'll get into that later. But I thought as a whole, for the first 16 minutes, I thought we looked very good. I thought we were definitely the better side. Bournemouth are going to have chances. I mean, it's a football match. You know, the opposition will get, in general, the opposition will get a couple of chances throughout the game. But as a whole, like I said, I thought we looked very, very well. Got a couple of positives, mainly negatives to chat to you guys about. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So, for the positives, I think the biggest positive we all have to start on with, and I think most of you would agree with me, is Declan Rice. Declan Rice is just an immense, immense player. Everything he does, he just seems to excel at. Whether it's defensively, offensively, like I said, everything he does is just he does it to another level. And with Partey coming back into the side, we've seen that it gives him that freedom to actually express himself in the eight role, which a lot of people actually didn't think he would do well in. Majority of people thought he's a CDM, he's a six, but now that we can actually see that he does have that creative side to his game, he does have that side to his game, similar to Frank Lampard, not on that level yet, but where he can actually implement his authority onto the game. And I thought he was marvelous. Obviously, he opened the scoring for us. He very nice touch after the Odegaard pass for the assist, and then he just had a very nice touch pass keeper and then bombed the ball into the back of the net. Prior to his goal, he actually also had two chances. So it seems like he's actually getting into those little pockets, those little spaces, and getting himself into positions where he can actually score. And we've seen it a lot more this season. Let's eliminate his two free kicks against Real Madrid. We do see him getting into those little spaces a lot where he's actually able to contribute goals. And obviously assists he contributes from the corners and just from his all-round general play. So I thought Declan Rice, my man of the match again, and I think for most of you it'd be your man of the matches as well. Then secondly, Martin Odegaard, as I mentioned, he got the assist for Declan Rice's goal. And I thought he did much better this game. I thought it was a much better performance from the captain. I know a lot of you are still going to hound him out, still going to make it seem like Odegaard's the biggest problem in our side. He's the weak link. But I don't think so. I think he came back from quite a big injury layoff in the beginning of the season, and no excuses. I mean, he's the captain. He needs to be doing better. He needs to be playing much better, much much better. But I think as a whole, and what we've seen him do throughout his Arsenal career, we all know there's a very good player in there somewhere, at least somewhere. And I thought today we saw a much better version of Martin Odegaard. Um, Still some indecisiveness in his play. I thought, especially there we had the counter attack and Saka laid it off to him, and then he didn't know if to shoot or he didn't know if he should lay it off to someone else. And then Bournemouth actually got the ball and initiated a counter. But I thought as a whole he implemented especially in the first half, he implemented his style of play onto the game. He was controlling the game nicely. We saw some nice creative little passes, little cue passes here and there. And as a whole, like I said, I think Odegaard's performance today is definitely a positive going into the PSG game on Wednesday. Another positive from the match is definitely the partnership between Saliba and Kiwior, which we've seen in recent weeks actually do very, very well. Saliba, we know what he's all about. He's arguably one of the best defenders in the world. And besides, he's made a couple of errors in the last couple of games, but I think as a whole, he's another one that just he seems so cool, calm, and collected whenever he plays, and he's such an important cog to Arsenal having such a good defense throughout the year. And then Kiwior coming in for Gabriel a couple of weeks ago after his season-ending injury. We all had myself included, we all had our concerns with him coming in. But I think he's gone from step to step. Every week he just seems to be getting better and better. We saw today especially that it's not just his defensive qualities that look good today. Like we saw his passing ability and his composure on the ball. We saw some moments where the Bournemouth players were pressing him, and he just did little nice little turns, getting himself out of trouble. And then obviously we also saw that nice lump through ball for Martinelli. Unfortunately, Martinelli couldn't control it really. Kepa came out, headed it over Martinelli's head. But that could easily have been an assist. And so I think between those two, that's definitely a big positive that we can take into the PSG game on Wednesday. Now it's time for the negatives, which I think there was quite a few. Obviously, conceding two set piece goals. We're known as like the set piece kings, but unfortunately, defending set pieces we seem like we're the jokers of the Premier League at the moment. First off, it was Dean Huijsen, actually a player Arsenal are interested in signing this summer. The young centre back is one of the hottest commodities in world football at the moment. So 19, 20-year-old Spanish. I believe he's a Spanish international at the moment from Juventus. Bournemouth obviously signed him, saw the talent. And what a player he is. He's actually very, very good. The goal, I think, was a good goal from him. Nice little header. He guided the ball nicely into the corner past Raya. Not sure if Raya could have actually done more to stop the goal. We'll get onto the second one, which I thought was a huge, huge error from Raya. But yeah, I thought Huijsen is another guy. If we can actually get him into to Arsenal, he'd be a good substitute, somewhat backup for Saliba and them, possibly even pushing to get into the first team. £50 million is a lot of money to spend on someone that could just be sitting on the bench for a lot of games. But very, very good goal from Bournemouth there. I thought we could have done it a lot better, like I say, in actually defending it. We saw Rice not really jump for it. Miles Lewis Kelly also standing on kind of ball watching, and then Raya, I'm not too sure. I think we've seen let me just put a disclaimer in. I think Raya is a very good goalkeeper, but I do believe we've seen quite a lot of that throughout the season this year. Like you believe there's like saves he could have made that he didn't make, and could he have made that one? He was stretching for it. It was a really good goal. The second one though, especially, was a big, big howler from Raya. I mean, the way I know it bobbled and it's like kind of like unexpected, but as a goalkeeper, you have to expect those. You have to expect that the ball can come at any moment, especially from a corner. And I just thought the way it like bobbled off his knees into the back of the net. I mean, come on, man. That was super poor goalkeeping from him. And as a whole, he's another one. He's a very good player. He's had a good season. He's very good with the ball at his feet. But there's moments throughout the season. I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel the same. But there's been these moments throughout the season where I just feel like there's saves he possibly could have made that end up going into the back of the net. We've seen so many times and I know XG is also not really like a proper stat. But we've seen so many times the XG of teams when they actually score against Arsenal will be like 0.12, or like it's not really goals that you'd expect to be conceding, and then we end up going down, or we end up the opposition ends up equalizing. So I think Raya, I know we're looking at Joan Garcia from Espanyol, so maybe Arteta's feeling again, hey, we need another upgrade at the goalkeeping position. But I think there's another one. I'm not going to hound him out too much for that. I think the second goal was very, very poor. I think he could have done better. But going into the PSG game, we need him to be fully concentrated and have momentum going into the game. Then my final and probably my biggest negative from the loss today is Leandro Trossard. I'm not too sure. I don't even know what to say, guys. I think my patience is just running thin with this guy. He's good in the box. He's pretty decent at finishing, but his overall play really doesn't impact the game enough. His influence in the match is really, really poor, especially when he's playing centre forward. I prefer him definitely on the wing. When he's on the wing, he looks a lot better. He's got a little bit more space to create something. But as a centre forward, he has no physicality. He constantly gets dispossessed of the ball, and he really just doesn't offer anything. I think his finishing has probably dropped a level as well. We see him even on last week against PSG. We saw the opportunity he had to score. It was a good save from Donnarumma, but as a whole, I think Trossard needs to go, guys. I think Trossard, this is probably his last season at the club, and I think that'll be good with Nico Williams possibly coming in, or even someone like a Brian Mbuemo. I really don't see how we can keep Trossard, and as a centre forward for me, it's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch. It's honestly just I can't even get the words to come into my brain to describe how I feel watching Trossard at centre forward. And his friend down the left hand side, Martinelli, doesn't do much better. Honestly, his dribbling is not that great. I think he's a transition forward. He does very well on the counter. Obviously, his speed. 101 is he does okay, you could say, but we've seen so many times. I think it's been a consistent theme throughout the season. And when you look at Martinelli, there's always this worry that he's not gonna finish those opportunities. We saw it also on Tuesday against PSG at that nice when Lewis Kelly put the through ball for him just before the halftime break. Missed that big opportunity, and we all know Donnarumma's a very good goalkeeper, but you'd expect your star attackers to score those. And it kind of makes sense now why Arteta is so heavily pushing to sign a new left-sided forward. Striker, obviously, we know we need a striker, but the left-hand side has also been quite weak, and we pretty much everyone on the pitch we sorted. Our defense is strong. Midfield is most of the time strong. Zubamendi looks like he's almost certain to come in. Will help a lot. And I really just do think we need more attacking options. Our attack seems very weak. The only X factor game changer we have up front is Saka, and he's not going to be able to do that every single game. We do need a striker. We do need a left winger. So it's very imperative that the club actually brings in those players this summer. Gyökeres, Sesko, Ollie Watkins. Those are the names being touted to me for the striker position. Left wing, we've got Brian Mbuemo, we've got Nico Williams. Arteta loves Nico Williams, guys. Speaking to Steve K from Football Transfers, he's been telling me for so long that Nico Williams is pretty much the number one transfer target for the Gunners. Are we going to get him? Not too sure. His wages are quite high, and we saw against Man United on Thursday, he didn't actually put in such a good performance. Is he much better than Martinelli? My opinion, he's probably a slightly better, but not much. But Gyökeres obviously will make a huge impact for the team. But yeah, guys, I think that's about it. A lot of negatives, very disappointing. Some positives. Declan Rice, the only one really coming to mind at the moment. On to Wednesday we go. PSG is going to be a big game for our season. I mean, the only thing we really have left going on is the Champions League. I still believe we can turn it around. It's going to be tough. Obviously, going to Paris, it's going to be tough. But I think if we're playing at our best level, we're gonna definitely. I think we can turn the game around. Party's going to be back as well, which will make a huge difference. It will also allow Marino to go back up front, which is the way we play. We do need a physical striker. Trossard can go to the bench or go home. Doesn't really matter to me. Martinelli can still start. I think Martinelli, there is a good player in there somewhere. Same thing with Martin Odegaard. Just players that seem very indecisive and just not playing to the best of their abilities. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. We're gonna try to do this more regularly. I tried, like I say, just try to keep up with it. It's not always easy to get to the recording. But anyway, guys, it's been me, Bjorn from Punch Drunk Arsenal. Please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and don't forget to leave your comments down at the bottom below. Cheers, guys.